Listen, AI is growing in both popularity and capability. Although this is a little bit scary for content creators and creatives, I do think that there's a lot of tools that are being made that is lowering the barrier to entry for people who want to get into professional filmmaking who may not have the budget or the ability to rent out the most expensive equipment. As a filmmaker, audio is the #1 most important thing that you should be worried about. Good visuals will never make up for bad audio. Imagine going to a movie theater and seeing the most beautiful movie you've ever seen, but you can't hear it. That's why today's video is all about how to make amazing sounding audio on a very low budget or no budget at all. The best part is the process is super simple and it takes out the need to have any kind of knowledge in audio engineering. This is only available to people with an Adobe subscription because you will have to sign in to be able to use it. But if you don't have Adobe and you don't want to get a subscription, Davinci Resolve just came out with their new audio enhancement AI and it's totally free to use, but it is still super good for taking some really bad audio and making it definitely a whole lot more usable.
Test. This is me using my iPhone to show you how good Adobe Podcast can really be in a pinch whenever you need it. Test. This is me using my iPhone to show you how good Adobe Podcast can really be in a pinch whenever you need it.
Okay, let's get started with Adobe Podcast. Step 1, let's get the audio track ready. Now the first thing is that Adobe Podcast only takes MP3 or WAV files. So you'll need to take your video track and turn it into an audio track. This is super easy. You can do this in Premiere or Audition, but the way that I do it is in Premiere. Another thing to know is that Adobe Podcast only accepts videos that are either 1 gig or up to 1 hour. So if it's past an hour or over a gig, then you may just have to cut in half or something like that. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is open up Premiere and we're gonna start our timeline. Okay, now that we're in Premiere, the next thing we need to do is take the audio track and unlink it from the video track. So all you're gonna do is come to the video track that you're using, right click it, and hit unlink. Now, the next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna press Control-N if you're on Windows. I think it's Command-N if you're on Mac. But basically all you're gonna do is create a new sequence. I'm gonna name mine AI audio so I can come back to that anytime I need it once I'm done. And then once you have your new timeline, you're going to copy the audio track and paste it over into your new timeline. Okay, now that you've got your audio in a new timeline, all you're gonna do is press Control-M or Command-M, I believe, if you're on Mac. And this is gonna take you to the export window. You're gonna go down to Format, and you're just going to change it to a waveform audio. As you see, it's whatever you named it, .wave, and then the location you're putting in it. I'm just going to put it on my desktop for time's sake, and then hit export. Now that you have your new audio file, the next thing you're going to do is head over to podcast.adobe.com, and that'll be in the link in the description below. If you don't want to type that in, you can just click on that. As you can see here, this is the page. This is what it's going to look like. You're going to see the drag and drop audio or upload. I'm going to click upload, go to my desktop, and click on my AI audio. It's going to start enhancing it. This usually takes about 15 to 20 seconds depending on the length. It could probably take anywhere up to a minute or two if you have a huge audio file. But for me, that took about 10 seconds. So I'll show you the difference now. This is before I enhanced it.
Test. This is me using my iPhone to show you how good Adobe Podcast can really be in a pinch whenever you need it.
It sounds like I'm literally stuck in a whale. Like I'm hoping that Lassie will come and save me. But if we hit enhance audio.
Test. This is me using my iPhone to show you how good Adobe Podcast can really be in a pinch whenever you need it.
I think that sounds amazing. I think when you're taking an iPhone in a garage like I'm in right now, that's echoey and reverby, and it makes it sound like that, that's incredible. And I literally didn't have to do anything. I just had to drag and drop, and now I'm going to download, and just like that, it's done. What's also nice is that it'll automatically label it as enhanced. So if I go to show in folder, you'll see right here, AI audio in parentheses enhanced. That's how you know it's done. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our audio, drag and drop it in Premiere, and then drag and drop it over the audio on the timeline. And just like that.
Test. This is me using my iPhone to show you how good Adobe Podcast can really be in a pinch whenever you need it.
It's seriously that easy. The audio you've heard throughout this entire video has been, surprise, ran through Adobe Podcast. I have been using a DJI Lav Mic, and then I ran it through Adobe Podcast, and that was it. But that doesn't mean you should start neglecting your audio and good audio practice. You should still invest in good mics. You should still invest in good soundproofing. You should still invest in good audio practice. Again, I can't say this enough. As a filmmaker, I've been doing this for 10 years. You really need to make sure your audio is good. No one wants to have to work to listen to your video. If the audio isn't good, it's not an enjoyable experience, and visuals will never carry audio. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.